all is well if heart is well. It's all about the heart. If your heart is functioning fine, everything is under your control. But if your heart, some way or the other, has any problem, your life becomes a big question mark. Well, I'm with Dr. Sarju Ralhan. पहले तो आप मुझे बताएं cardiac surgeon और cardiologist में क्या फर्क है?
So basically, cardiology is an intervention and a physician part of those who take care of the heart ailments. And surgeon is the one who takes into a surgical accounts, like, whenever there's surgery required, so the surgeon peeps in, So that's the only difference.
So जब आपको लगता है कि कुछ medicine से हो सकता है, then
no, medicine and intervention is done by the cardiologist.
But जब आप पता है there has to be
but then everything is not amenable to intervention procedures. So wherein the disease is more extensive or patients have structural heart disease, wherein the surgical intervention is required, that's how the cardiac surgeons intervene and they come into picture.
So Dr. Sarju, मैं आपसे पहला सवाल सीधा पूछती हूँ as a layman. ठीक है, आई थिंक एक जो नॉर्मल इंसान है, जब हमारे कुछ हार्ट का इशू आता है, पता लगता है कि भाई साहब कुछ गड़बड़ है, राइट, एंड जैसे जब भी अगर आपको लगता है बॉडी किसी और बॉडी पार्ट से, स्टिल वन थिंग्स, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू हार्ट, व्हेन डू यू थिंक देयर इज एन अर्जेंसी, नाउ यू कैन नॉट डिले इट एनी फर्दर?
See, if you are facing a problem, it's a very simple thing, in a day-to-day routine activity, the day you start feeling breathless with that same activity, that's a time when you really know that something's gone wrong, So if you're climbing 5 stairs every day, but then one fine morning while climbing stairs you get breathless or you get pain in the chest or pain in the arm, that's a time when you need intervention,
So
you need to go to your physician.
So अगर आपको कभी भी लगता है कि जो आपका डेली रूटीन है उसमें कहीं पर कुछ भी ट्वीक हुआ है, कुछ भी डिफरेंस आ रहा है, तो उसको इग्नोर नहीं करना चाहिए.
Yes. That's the first warning sign, that something has gone wrong, and you have to. Because what happens is mostly people, they come, say that today I climbed 5 stairs, 5 stories, and I got breathless. But if you're not doing this activity on a routine basis, then you are likely to get breathless, because this is not your normal activity. So what I'm saying is, any routine activity which you are doing, and you with that same routine activity, you get breathless. That may be cycling, swimming, gymming, climbing stairs, or doing household work.
Just don't ignore it.
So just don't ignore it, That's the crux, and that's the most important point,
So I halted midway because वो हमारा flow बन गया था. But coming back to my opening question, as a layman, we would like to know what's the difference between open heart surgery and bypass surgery.
See, bypass surgery is basically a surgery for the arteries which are supplying the blood to the heart, So generally we are operating on the surface of the heart,
So stent लगता है जहाँ पर stent.
Yeah, it's like, when the stent is placed in the arteries, when we are working on the surface of the heart, that's called a bypass surgery, And in open heart surgery, we open the heart and we change the things, Like you have a structural heart disease, you have valve issues, so valve has to be changed, or you have a congenital issues like you have a hole in the heart. So those things, when we have to open the heart, we stop the heart, we open the heart, we repair that part, and we close it, and then we come off bypass machine, and that's a basic difference,
फिर तो खुदा ही हो गए डॉक्टर, है ना? बिकॉज जो हार्ट है वो गॉड ने बनाया, तो आप मुझे गॉड की फंक्शन है कि उसको विदहेल्ड करके यू गिव अनदर लाइफ टू अ पर्सन.
Yeah, that's how actually heart surgery started,
That's how it started.
That's how, it's almost like 7-8 decades now, and it has evolved very nicely. Initially, the bypass surgery used to be done after stopping the heart. Now we are doing bypass surgery on beating heart,
Oh,
so that's how the process has changed,
Yes.
So they initially made a heart lung machine that you put the patient on a machine and you stop the heart, the body is getting blood supply. But now we are not using that, so we are doing everything on a beating heart, but we are working on the surface of the heart. So that's not an open heart, because we are working on the surface of the heart. Open heart, as I already told you,
So, Dr. Sarju, I think चाहे वो एक छोटा बच्चा हो या फिर an ailing adult or probably a septuagenarian. So, आपको क्या लगता है सबसे ज़्यादा challenging जो heart surgery होती है वो किस age group की होती है?
I believe every day, every surgery which we are doing is a challenge, because things, they don't go sometimes the way we intend to and when we are planning, So whether it's a congenital or adult, all surgeries are complex and they are tough to do. But most challenging are the surgeries wherein sometimes patients, they come with the rupture of the main artery of the heart,
That is?
Wherein every minute ticking, you're going to lose the patient,
Oh.
So it's like 1% per minute, you know. So
Oh my
the
God.
disease which is called as aortic dissection, wherein your main artery, which is supplying blood to the whole body, it gets burst, you know. I mean, in the layman's language, you know, it's just ruptured, you know. So this is a situation wherein we don't do even a single investigation. So the patient, the moment the patient is in the hospital and we find that he has this problem, he's wheeled straight to the OT and we repair that artery. You know. This is the most challenging of all the cardiac surgeries which we do, you know. Of course, there are other challenges as well, you know.
First of all, tell us about your journey as a surgeon. Then I will come to the question.
No, I did my MBBS from Patiala and I went to Gujarat.
From Rajendra Hospital.
Yeah, Rajendra Hospital. And I went to Gujarat, Baroda, wherein did my MS. And then I came back to Punjab and I did my MCH from PGI.
Okay.
I was born in Delhi and I was brought up in Chandigarh. So Chandigarh is like, you know, my favorite place. So I did my MCH there. So then it happened like, you know, there was one team which was coming from Escorts, Delhi to start cardiac surgery in Punjab, you know, in Jalandhar. So I was part of that team, you know. So in a way you can call that team was a pioneer in starting cardiac surgery in Punjab, you know.
Oh, so what difference do you see now? 2002 till 2026?
Things have changed. I mean,
so
dramatically.
what's the best technological advancement you think that has come in heart surgeries?
The first and the most important, as I already told you, know, that because we are doing surgeries now on beating heart. At that time, this beating heart surgery was in its infancy.
Yes.
We started way back in 98 when we did the first beating heart surgery in Punjab, you know, and now it's being routinely done. So that's a major breakthrough, you know, because the recovery is fast and patients, they tend to go home very early. And then the breakthrough which we did is that in 2014, we started a different technique of doing bypass surgery, wherein we don't give a cut on the legs, you know. So everything is done from within the chest. This is a specialized surgery wherein we use all arterial grafts and the recovery is better. By now, we have already done about 8,000 patients with this technique. So this was a major breakthrough because now patients are coming to us कि जी हमारे को पैर में कट नहीं लगाना. So they're specifically coming for this. This was a major breakthrough from, if I say, from 1996 to 2026, you know. And this technique we started in 2014, you know. And
it's successful.
Of course, we had a very good success with this, you know. And this we basically learned from Dr. Bhattacharya, who's in Bombay.
Okay.
He's basically a pioneer of this kind of a surgery, you know. So
also now, you know, talking about leg, it brings me to another question, which I had not really thought of. Now that you said, it just popped into my head that people often say that जो आपका heart का system है, it is connected to your calf muscle or your calf muscles. Is that a myth or a reality?
The calf muscles, basically, they are acting as a pump, you know, because most of the deoxygenated blood, the so-called which is blood, is not pure, you know. So deoxygenated blood is coming from the legs and it is reaching the heart, you know. So that's how, I mean, the calf muscles, they pump that blood to the heart, you know.
Okay.
So it is in a way, you know, you can say
it is reality. It is not a myth.
So it's a pump, basically. So if this pump is not working, sometimes when you're not walking that much, especially when you're doing in your flight, you're not moving your legs, because there's a stagnation of blood in the veins which are carrying blood to the heart. And in that stagnation, there can be formation of clots. If those clots, they migrate to your arteries of the lung, then the patients, they get almost like similar picture like a heart attack, you know.
Oh
it's called as pulmonary thromboembolism.
Yes, we
it's
call
an
it
acute
PTE. PTE.
Yeah. So it's a kind of an emergency and with a very high mortality rate, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why we tell everybody that you should keep on exercising your calf muscles, you know.
So oh my God, that's I think a very valuable message coming from you, Dr. Alhan. So especially when you're on a flight. Yeah. So things to do
long,
when you
long
flights wherein I think you're in the flight for 7 to 8 hours minimum. Yes. So what it is that a person should do to avoid this?
I mean, you should not be sitting for a long time. And even if you're sitting for a long time, keep on moving your feet like this in a way that you will be making your calf muscles pump more blood. Or don't sit for a long time. You know, nowadays you have Apple Watches which keep on telling you time to stand up and start walking. So things like that, you know. So these are like very important. You can use technology because most of the time you will forget. Because your watch is going to give you a remind. You time to stand up and start walking, you know. So that's a precaution.
Apart from this, for your heart health, things to be done that people generally ignore? Like broader picture, everybody knows. Acha khao, whatever. But, things that generally people don't realize or ignore.
And nowadays, I think it's a very common saying, walk 10,000 steps a day. And that's another way of, if you're sitting sedentary, it's equivalent to smoking one cigarette, So if you walk 10,000 steps a day, in a way you're giving health to your heart, So that's very important.
Message.
So you have to avoid fast food, fried foods. Most of the time what happens in that, I think Punjabi culture में तो बहुत ज़्यादा है जो हम fried खाते भी हैं ना, it's a common saying, because even I had this similar problem in childhood in my home, because we refry,
Yeah.
So that the oil which we are using, we put it back into the container and we reuse it, It's that refrying which is more dangerous.
Worst.
It's the worst scenario, So refrying is, the most dangerous thing, And of course, obesity is very important. So if you walk 10,000 steps, you very likely that you'll start losing weight, I have seen my friends and I have seen my people, they have lost like almost 1.5 to 2 kgs, even by maintaining that 10,000 step schedule for just 15 days,
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And as far as dinner is concerned, the most important thing is that there should be a fasting between the 2 meals, between dinner and breakfast for at least 12 hours, which of course is very difficult to practice.
Yes.
And then at least 3 hours before sleeping, you should not take anything which is containing sugar,
Oh.
So because what happens in the night is when your body is resting, if you're using sugar, there is insulin surge, So that insulin surge is not going to make your fat mobilize, It's going to make your glucose mobilize,
Right.
So in case you want to lose weight, you have to avoid that insulin surge. So minimum 3 hours prior to sleep, don't take anything which contains sugar,
Oh.
Very simple formula.
Valuable advice.
Very simple formula.
Yeah.
Don't take anything which is containing sugar 3 hours before you go to your bed,
Okay.
Because when you're resting, that is a time when body is still active,
Yeah.
That insulin is going to mobilize your sugar. So it's not, your fat is going to sit idle, It's
So I think Punjabi को बोलेंगे कि राती तुसी
dinner च मीठा नहीं खाना. अगर मीठा खाना भी है ना, तो घट्टो घट 3 घंटे पहले खा लो सोन तो. So follow these 2 formulas, 10,000 steps. कोई मिठा नहीं खाना 3 घंटे पहला.
Now coming to the next one, पहले होता था कि आपका कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ा हुआ है. अब हाल फिलहाल में we heard a new, as a layman, again I'm talking, as a doctor, I think it may surprise you when I will mention triglycerides. पहले तो what are triglycerides and cholesterol और triglycerides में क्या फ़र्क है? कौन सा? Of course, they both are dangerous अगर levels high हो, but which is more?
Both are dangerous. I think both are very dangerous because this.
What are triglycerides?
Triglycerides are kind of lipids, because basically whatever plaques are forming in the body, they are forming because of cholesterol and triglycerides. The triglycerides, they tend to go high. So now what happens is most of the time when people get their lipid profile done. The lipid profile is a test which is generally done to see how much is the cholesterol, how much is the triglycerides. So most of the time people, they don't go empty stomach, So they have taken something, the triglyceride is going to come high and then they're going to be suddenly alarm कि जी triglyceride तो बहुत बढ़ गया. So एक तो fasting sample कराना होता है.
So lipid profile के लिए सबसे important है कि आपका fasting होना चाहिए.
The test has to be fasting, means not even a water glass.
Not even a glass of water.
Yeah, that's how, because the moment you take something, the body the body mechanism kicks in, and when the triglycerides, they mobilize from the source and they come into the bloodstream, and they will be high in case you have eaten something, So cholesterol and triglycerides both are very important. Of course, there are other lipid profile things which are also very important because LDL is there, HDL is there. For a layman, the good cholesterol is HDL cholesterol. The bad cholesterol is the LDL and triglyceride and cholesterol.
Okay,
so these are important things. And the only way you can increase your HDL is by gymming and by getting up early in the morning.
Achha.
And of course by eating fish.
Fish.
These are the things, So these are the only things which can make your good cholesterol high. In case a good cholesterol is high, that negates one risk factor for a heart disease.
Oh, that's
very important.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's an eye opener.
Yeah. So that's why now most of the people they used to get up. Common norm तो यही था ना कि सुबह जल्दी उठो, जल्दी अपना काम करो, जल्दी सो. So वो norm जो है ना वो सही था.
और जब sunset हो जाएगा तो कुछ खाना पीना नहीं है. So that was another.
वो भी देखो, see most of the people are trying to follow that regime again, you know.
Yes.
And if you see around the world, Japanese and Chinese, they're almost following the same regime, you know. That they generally eat their dinner before the sunset, you know.
Yes.
Before the sunset.
Also, I think now connecting to this is another fad diet, which is intermittent fasting. As a surgeon, would you recommend, or there are things that you must keep in mind if you're going on internet?
So these are very, fasting? You know, these are very, very important things. Generally, I advise my patients in case they want to follow
because
some kind of a diet regime.
Yeah.
In case they have to follow some kind of a diet regime, they should follow a good dietitian. And because see, होता क्या है, people are now, there is a lot of knowledge floating on WhatsApp, Instagram. उसमें से पढ़ के और उसमें से देख के ना उसको follow करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Because generally there are no scientific basis behind that, you know. So follow whatever you want to follow on a scientific basis, you know. Scientific basis means you have to have meal 3 times in a day.
Okay.
Breakfast should be the richest
like
meal you should have.
And dinner like
Take your dinner, like there should be dinner and breakfast gap for at least 12 hours, which is very difficult to follow, but 10 hours तो कर ही सकते हैं.
10 hours.
ठीक है ना? Sugary food 3 घंटे पहले dinner से नहीं लेना है. Fried चीज़ें नहीं खानी है. Eat as much salad as possible. So these are the basic, you know, I will say, I am not challenging any dietitian, you know, but you should follow a good dietitian. Follow them and follow them in a proper way, you know. Because हम लोग ना, जब हम लोग सर्जरी के बाद लोगों को फॉलो करते हैं ना, so basically उसके 3 parts होते हैं. One is a physical rehabilitation. One is a pharmacological management, means drug management, कि उनको क्या medicine देनी है.
Right.
Third, which is most important part, is a diet rehabilitation, you know. So we generally tend to, those who are younger patients, we tend to send them to a dietitian.
Okay.
And we tell them you follow them. Because younger age में क्या है कि bypass होने के बाद में mostly तो लोग साल तो follow करते हैं. But 1 साल के बाद ना, they come back to their normal regime, you know. They will start doing everything, you know. So younger patients में, because they have whole their life to see, so उनको हम लोग strictly avoid करते हैं. So we tell them to follow these 3 regimes. I mean, the pharmacological, the physical rehabilitation, and the dietary rehabilitation. So these are very important things, you know.
3 important things. Now, another layman question might surprise you कि मैं क्या पूछ रही हूँ, but generally ना ये कहा जाता है कि जो हार्ट इश्यूज होते हैं वो विमेन में कम होते हैं, मेन में ज़्यादा होते हैं, बिकॉज जो विमेन है इनका हार्ट ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है. Is that so?
If you see percentage-wise, there's definitely a difference.
It is?
You know? It is there. Definitely.
So it's not a myth. I mean, there is some study behind it.
No. There is a study behind it. So there is a difference, you know, in the ratio is different, you know. But उसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि फीमेल के हार्ट स्ट्रॉन्ग होते हैं तो इसलिए उनमें डिजीज प्रॉब्लम्स कम होते हैं. बट जनरली फीमेल में जिनमें प्रॉब्लम होती है, the outcome is not that good as compared to males. You know?
Oh.
Because they have generally smaller arteries, the females.
Oh.
They have generally smaller arteries and the disease is more diffuse. So, vis-a-vis अगर हम लोग रेशो देखें तो जो morbidity and mortality rate जो है, जो success rate बोलते हैं, वो females में कम होता है.
Oh.
But of course the number is also different, you know. But
Yes.
आजकल क्या है, जनरली पहले ये बोलते थे कि मेनोपॉज के बाद में ही coronary artery disease होता है फीमेल्स में, ऐसा जो है ना अब खत्म हो चुका है. So I have operated patients pre-menopausal as well, you know.
So, Dr. Sarju, nowadays I think what stunts people the most is the amount of heart attack or cardiac arrest and deaths related to that in younger people, including kids. Why is this happening? I mean, हम बोल देते हैं अरे ये तो कोविड इंजेक्शन का नतीजा है.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, because even it's not even the younger population. You have seen suddenly that's happening in athletes as well, you know.
Athletes also.
Yeah. So athletes may be 1 in 50,000 people. 1 in 50,000 can die because of heart attack, you know. Even in athletes as well, you know.
Reason being?
I will tell you. And 1 in 100,000 patients will die. Those who are athletes, you know, in 1 year. This is you know indices which we have seen recently. So basically होता क्या है, हार्ट के 3 पार्ट हैं. One is a electrical part, second is a muscle part, and the third is a blood supply arteries part. You know?
Yes.
So you can have problem in the electrical part, you can have problem in the muscle part, you can have problem in the arteries, you know. So it's not like heart attack जो है वो एक आर्टरी ब्लॉक हो गया तो उससे हो गया. अगर आपके इलेक्ट्रिकल कनेक्शन में किसी जगह पे प्रॉब्लम है, these problems generally happen genetically. and they are inherited, you know. So उसमें अगर problem होगा तो people are going to die suddenly, you know. There are syndromes like QT prolongation and WPW syndrome, wherein if you have this kind of a problem, you may die suddenly, you know.
Oh.
So it's not related to age.
Yes.
It can happen in any age. Then some abnormalities of muscle, you know, muscle का hypertrophy हो गया, जैसे जिसको हम HOCM कहते हैं, hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Those people, they are carrying that disease since their birth, you know, but they never come to know that this has happened, you know. So these patients, they can die even at a younger age, you know.
Okay.
And third thing is if you have a blockage in the arteries, you know. So basically heart, three different things, and all three can cause sudden death. You know?
Genetics ही different हो जाते हैं.
Yeah, genetics ही different हो जाते हैं. So if you have a history of sudden cardiac death in the family, the family when I'm saying is your father, your mother, and any of their siblings and any of the seniors, you know. So generally we recommend is कि उनको जितनी जल्दी हो सके अपना चेकअप करवाना चाहिए.
Okay.
All these you know, electrical, muscle or artery problems, they can be detected at an early age and can be prevented as well.
Okay, very important.
So this is very important. You know,
very important.
Because जो electrical activity की problem है ना, उसमें suddenly the heart will stop pumping actually, you know, because the blood is not going, and these are the patients who can be revived, you know.
Okay.
So what is more important is that all the gyms, the instructors should have a CPR training program. They should strictly follow that, because suddenly it can happen in the gym. You recently might have heard कि in one of the renowned clubs somebody died suddenly.
Yeah.
So these are the deaths which can be avoided, you know. So CPR training program जरूरी है, और एक gym में defibrillator होना बहुत जरूरी है. So I mean all gyms instructors, the trainees, they must have a CPR training program, you know.
This is something that I always say कि FPC और CPR की training तो mandatory होनी ही चाहिए. Schools, colleges में होनी चाहिए. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, we are already, you know, Dr. Vishwav is with us, so he was already.
In fact, when I interviewed him, I asked him.
We started a CPR training regime in 2022. So we trained the school kids, and so he's strictly following that. And now we are going to shift our this thing to the gyms, you know.
Gyms,
so we're going to have videos for the gyms, so that they see daily basis, you know, and these avoidable, you know, 1 in 50,000, you know. So अगर आप 50,000 में से एक को भी बचा लिया,
so
it's going to be, you know, for that family, it's going to be a great thing. It's going to be
a blessing. Yeah. So now my question is that don't you think as a heart surgeon, because we had Dr. Mr. Mohan as well, and he also suggested, don't you think that this should be made compulsory by the government?
Yeah, I think that's very important. You know, if it is compulsory from the government, you know, that all gyms, they should have a CPR training
even
program.
At school or college,
if there is a certification course that they have to have a CPR training program.
That's what I'm talking about.
So unless you have a CPR training program, you cannot run a gym. So I think that would be a very good regime to follow. You know,
and I'd like to take this forward.
That will take a long way.
The ministry as well. I think
this suddenly come up. You know, this is very important.
Yeah. So I think this is important. Yeah. So now, Dr. Sarju, मैं आपसे एक बड़ा अहम सवाल पूछती हूँ. Suppose I'm sure आप कितनी surgeries करते हैं in a day? This is not the question I'm coming to it.
I operate about 4 to 5 cases.
So 4 to 5 cases में आपके साथ कितनी बार ऐसा होता होगा ना कि जो पेशेंट की फैमिली है उनको लगता है अच्छा let's take a second opinion कि चलो नहीं जी दिल्ली चले जाए या यहाँ चले जाएं, which is just because it's their family member. They have to take a stand, or they have to decide. They have to take a decision, sometimes on the spot, right? But as a heart surgeon, आप क्या एक एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे कि जो फैमिलीज को हम चाहते हैं कि अगर ये सिचुएशन है ना तो वेट नहीं करना?
उसमें देखिए ऐसा है कि initially this percentage was very high. The people used to seek a second opinion, and अब ये है कि we tell them if you want you can go ahead and take a second opinion.
You tell them. Yeah.
If you want you can go ahead, because what happens is because cardiac में ना problem क्या है, when the patient walks in ना they are generally looking very healthy, you know. उनको लगता है कि प्रॉब्लम तो है नहीं है. अब सडनली एंजियोग्राफी हुआ, दे टेलिंग कि जी इमीडिएटली सर्जरी करना पड़ेगा. सो वी if we find a situation like this, we tell them if you want you can have a second opinion. But mostly now I will say almost 90% plus patients और वो second opinion के लिए जाते ही नहीं हैं. They say we rely on you because it's been almost like 25 years I'm working in Ludhiana.
So you don't.
So अभी वो situation आती नहीं है because we are a very busy center. We are doing about 100 plus cases every month. तो अभी वो चीज़ होती नहीं है, बट वी ऑलवेज टेल देम कि दिस इज आवर ओपिनियन. द सेकंड क्वेश्चन विच वेरी फ्रीक्वेंटली कम्स एंड दे आस्क इज कि जी हम वेट कर सकते हैं, हम घर चले जाएं. तो वी टेल देम कि अगर आपने घर जाना है, इट्स नॉट फ्रॉम माई एडवाइस, यू कैन गो ऑन योर ओन रिस्क. बिकॉज इफ समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग देन डोंट कोट मी जी डॉक्टर अर्जुन ने बोल दिया, डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया था जी हम घर चले गए और वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम हो गया. Because the way I tell them is that in case you have to go to Delhi and you come to know that there is something, the road is not good or the conditions are not good, will you go to Delhi?
Yeah.
So this is how I tell them, this is how I tell them that once you have done an angiography, you have been diagnosed that you have a coronary disease. It's like a road which is not good. You will generally not travel on that road. Because layman's की language में उनको ये बताना बड़ा जरूरी होता है. So that's how I tell them this is important and this you must do it.
So what's now my next question is, I think one of the most important questions that जिसके awareness भी कम है. So the heart transplant. So when a patient has to undergo, do you keep in mind certain age group or what is the criteria?
No, actually see what happened is because पंजाब में हार्ट ट्रांसप्लांट तो अभी सिर्फ फोर्टिस मोहाली में और चंडीगढ़ में ही हुआ है. तो we got a authorization for transplant in our institution as well, So उसमें generally the cutoff limit is 65 years, but there are very complex things, those who have a weak heart and they are requiring heart failure patients repeatedly जिनको hospitalization की जरूरत पड़ती है. So but cutoff age जो है वो 65 रहता है.
65 है. Okay, beyond that it's not possible.
Beyond that it's not possible.
But it's not possible or it's not advisable?
It's not advisable actually.
It's not advisable.
Yeah, it's not advisable. But the things have extended क्योंकि जो population की जो mean age है वो change हो चुका है. तो बाहर तो वो लोग even 70-75 में भी करते हैं. So because I was recently in Vanderbilt University, so for the heart transplant program, तो वहाँ तो older age में भी करते हैं.
अच्छा,
Things are quite different there. But north में जो है ये transplant program है ना, it's not very common, South में it is more common.
Yes.
But unfortunately what has happened is जो patient है वो north का है.
Oh.
जो recipient है वो north का है. But the donor is from south because there is a lot of awareness in the south for donating the organs.
Yes.
Because if you donate organs, you can save 8 lives. One person can save 8 lives.
So you donate your heart.
You can donate your heart. You can donate your liver. You can donate your kidneys. So you have 2 kidneys. Then you can donate your cornea. So heart तो मैंने आपको बता ही दिया है. तो पैंक्रियास भी डोनेट कर सकते हैं. सो मल्टीपल चीज़ें हैं. 8 जो है इस तरह से आप करके तो यू कैन सेव मोर लाइव्स. उसमें अवेयरनेस होना बड़ा जरूरी है
जो कि नॉर्थ में अभी इतना प्रेवलेंट
नहीं है. We recently, I mean, on this weekend only, on Sunday, we are conducting a relief program in Lodi Club in collaboration with the DMC. So उसमें organ donation के ऊपर awareness के ऊपर ही we are starting that campaign.
Wonderful.
तो organ awareness पे लोगों को जो है ना बताना जरूरी है. So I think this is one point wherein the media can pump in and help us in helping people for the organ donation.
So now, let me ask you the question here, the most important question related to organ transplant or the organ donation. आपको क्या लगता है कि अगर हम नॉर्थ की बात करें जहाँ पर आप कह रहे इतनी अवेयरनेस नहीं है in terms of organ donation, क्या hindrances है, क्या वो significant factors है जिससे लोग organ donation नहीं करते?
People are not educated enough. प्लस उनको ये लगता है कि अगर ऑर्गन निकाल के दे दिया तो हमारा जो है ना बंदा जो है वो पूरा मतलब उसको
गति नहीं मिलेगा.
See, if you see, I mean, if you see US and all those things, any person who dies on a road accident is a potential donor.
Oh,
it's already marked. Unless it is written that he's not going to donate the organs.
Unless he's given it in writing that I don't want to.
Because then you are saving lives.
Yes.
So you are saving lives which are very important.
Yes.
So जो organ donation awareness जो है ना वो बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी है.
So Dr. Sarju, अब हम आपके जो professional role से एक और जो आपने another very significant role that you have picked up is the General Secretary of Lodi Club, one of the finest clubs of Punjab. तो पहले तो बताइए कि ये एकदम से शिफ्ट कैसे हुआ, मतलब एज अगर हम बात करें कि जो लोग कहते हैं अरे इतना बड़ा डॉक्टर होते को लेना टाइम कितने हो गया.
Yeah, that was a usual question which used to be asked.
हम अपने पंजाबी च करते
हैं. बड़ा ही usual. This was a very important question and everybody सब लोग यही बोलते थे कि यार इसके पास तो टाइम नहीं होगा. So I told them कि मेरे पास इतना टाइम है ना उतना किसी के पास भी नहीं ले जाना मैं. बिकॉज जो टाइम है ना हर किसी के पास है, हर एक चीज के लिए है, पर वो जो चीज को इम्पोर्टेंट समझता है ना उसके लिए निकालता नहीं है.
Yes.
सी मैं सबको ये बोलता हूँ कि इन्वेस्ट इन योर हेल्थ, बट लोग अपने हेल्थ के लिए ही जिम के लिए टाइम नहीं निकालते, अपने रूटीन एक्टिविटी के लिए निकालते, तो क्लब के लिए तो क्या निकालेंगे. सो टाइम जो है वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट जो है ना,
Tell us about your
टाइम मैनेजमेंट ज्यादा जरूरी है.
We would like to know about your time management. How do you run your
Time
day?
management is very simple, guys. I usually sleep around 10 o'clock. So I get up at 3:30 in the morning. That's the time when I hit the gym. Because why I do so is because उस टाइम पे घर में कोई नहीं उठा होता. So I am not like उनके जो प्राइवेट टाइम है उसमें से निकालना नहीं पड़ता मेरे को. So 3:30 जिम किया, 5 o'clock I sit and with my wife and have my breakfast, and 6:15 I go to the hospital.
Okay,
This is the regime which I'm following for last 20 years.
Oh.
But then I finish off my work early, so jitni bhi surgeries hain, then I have ample time to see my patients, and then I'm generally back home by 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So that's the time when I go and spend time in the club.
In the club.
And then when I'm home, I have 5 hours for my family. तो मेरे को नहीं लगता कोई भी इस तरह की रिजीम फॉलो करता होगा जिसके पास 5 घंटे का टाइम होगा अपनी फैमिली के लिए.
वो भी आजकल के टाइम
पॉसिबल.
सच एन इम्पोर्टेंट.
आई कैन चैलेंज इट एक्चुअली.
अब एक और चैलेंज है मेरे को. अभी किसी ने बोला कि लोधी क्लब में जो ऑल वेदर पूल है वो बन ही नहीं सकता. चैलेंज से बोला कि चैलेंज है.
उसमें ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है, प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की जरूरत नहीं होती है. आने वाले टाइम पे अपना ही पता लग जाएगा कि बन गया तो फिर बोलेंगे अरे कैसे हो गया यार.
So now that you've taken this additional responsibility, आपको क्या लगता है कि आपने क्या चेंजेस करे हैं जो पहले क्लब आपने जब कमांड ली है?
See, the things were already done
Command
quite
and
nicely, quite nicely. Now recently we have done a clubhouse which is a talk of the town. So most of the लोग बोलते हैं कि अपने यार डिनर के लिए वहाँ जाना है तो let's book a table for that. And then recently we installed 30 feet by 16 feet screen.
Okay.
आजकल क्रिकेट का टाइम चल रहा है.
हाँ, right.
So IPL भी आ जाएगा. So this is an area where it's in a lawn. And अगर बारिश भी हो रही है तो भी स्क्रीन चल सकती है. So क्लैरिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है. So people can come and enjoy and sit in the lawn. And अगर ओपन एरिया वाइज देखें तो सराबा नगर के बाद में दिस इज द ओनली स्क्रीन इन लुधियाना. मेरे को लगता है इतनी बड़ी स्क्रीन कहीं पे है. So
concluding question.
We have made this place worth coming and footfall भी बढ़ा है definitely.
Concluding question, will Dr. Sarju run a second term?
It all depends, because people want it कि आना चाहिए. So let's see how the things go.
Okay.
But I'm definitely open for that.
Wonderful. We wish you all the best and thank you so much for sharing life-saving tips with us.
Thank you very much.